Hey everybody, welcome back to Headgear Garage. Today we're going to continue on with the JeepTJ project. Our goal is to remove the hood, this fender, and that grill for replacements. The hood is all beat and twisted, this fender is dented and twisted, and the grill all dented and twisted. So we already got the battery disconnected. Let's get in here and start taking pieces and parts off. Alright, it's out of the way. Random S-hook. Garbage. Stones. Dirt. Lots and lots of dirt. Alright, we're going to lift her up in the air, take the tire off. Then we got to come in and get these bolts out on here. And then there's 4 bolts that run down along the side and this flare here. All have to, or this section of flare, all have to come out. Before we take it up, we're going to take these 2 bolts here out. I actually already got this bottom one, or the second one down out. So and this one I broke loose. And yeah, I forgot to hit the record button, so either way. Alright, there's those 2 bolts out. Those. Still got they're brand new. That's great. This I'm not concerned about. The rotors feel brand new as well. There's no lip, no grooves, nothing. Awesome. All right, so let's get in here. This is what we're going for. Well, that's not what you want. Got those little metal retainers in it, and that just snapped right off. Alright, I might have to get that one from the top. It might be easier. Ah, come on, baby, don't break. Nice and easy. Come on. Slow and steady wins the race. Woo! We're gonna move on to all of these. Take these lights out of the way. Undo this harness here. Okay, let's bring it back down and get the ones on the top. Let's take that one out. There's that S-ring, S-hook. Take that one out. And then we gotta get this one back here out. We gotta take this battery tray out yet, so I will do. Let me spray it real quick. Not sponsored, but boy, I do like this stuff. It's a little more expensive, but it seems to work. All right, it is out of there. I chose violence. Got the cutoff wheel. Cut the head of that bolt right off. Just drove it out with a punch after that, and it is now loose. All right, we got that fender off of there after like I said, I just cut that thing off. Now we're gonna work on getting this battery tray loose because I definitely need to have that loose to put the new fender back on. It just makes it easier to get to this box down here. Okay, so I'm having the same issue with this bolt as I did with that inner fender bolt. The little clip that holds it on is just snapped off, and so I'm trying to hold it with a pair of vice grips while I back the bolt out, but that isn't working real well, so we're going to take a different approach here. We got it off of there. I ended up having to do the same thing with it that I had to do down here, and that was just cut the bolt and drive it through. It is what it is. We're not putting them back in there anyway. We're gonna go through, and instead of putting those little metal pinch clip bolt things on there, I'm gonna use these rib nuts in there. Okay, that'll fix that problem. That loose for now. Spun around, so it's facing the right direction. Go. Put one in there just so it doesn't fall. Alright, that won't go anywhere now. Next up, let's get this grill taken loose. That wasn't too bad. So, you think it'll come off of there now? Oops. There we go. Hey, she's off of there. All right, now I gotta go get the other grill, bring it up here, tear the headlights and assemblies out of it so I can fish that wire out, and we'll get it set up here, mount it, and then we'll fish the wires back in once it's all mounted.
Many hours later.
All right, we got the grill back in. Well, we got the new grill in, mounted up firm. That was a cuss fest. Well, we're gonna tear this hood off. I got help here, so we're gonna tear the hood off. We got Uncle Denny here helping us.
Okay, so as you can see, we get the old hood off
no issues whatsoever. We'll also very shortly get the new hood on. No issues, kinda, with installing it. The problem we're having is it can't get anything to line up. It all just looks like, well, butt. It is terrible. So I just basically take a break from it here tonight, or today, and then I'll get back on it again. I kind of figured it out here on the next clip you see. All right, so the other day, Uncle Denny was here, and he helped me throw the hood back on, and the alignment was absolutely atrocious. So I don't know. I think our issue might be in the horns up here of the frame. I'm looking at it, and it looks like it must have gotten cleaned out a ditch or something over here, and it just pushed everything on this front portion over this way. So we're not going to do anything about that. What we're going to do is adjust how the grill mounts. I actually have a ratchet strap on here now. I pulled it over and I'm holding it tight until I get this fender on. And then we're going to get through and go underneath and kind of rework the bracketry down there. But as it sits here right now, it's not perfect, but the hood will close. Oh, the heater shut off. The hood will close and be fairly, it's a lot better. Let's just put it that way. It is far from perfect, but it is better. But I definitely think like it would need to go to a frame shop and just have the horns on the front here, the ends of the frame just pulled back this way. That would fix the whole thing. The Jeep itself, when you're driving down the road, tracks fine, tracks straight, doesn't have any issues. That's why I'm not going to go through and waste the money fixing that if I can adjust the grill over and just make it functional. I mean, like I said, it is an R-title Jeep. It's not worth putting a whole lot of extra money into, even though the frame on it is solid. With that little bit of a tweak in it there, I just think it isn't worth the extra effort if I can get it close enough that it looks decent and functions appropriately. The way it was way out of whack. On the left side, overhung I could put my whole hand inside that grill, and the right side, as you're facing it from the front, the right side, the driver's side, the hood was rubbing the grill. Now I got it down to where there's a little bit of a gap on each side. It's not an even gap. It's still a little wider on this side, but I think there's some more work I can do there once I get everything fastened and hooked up. So what we're going to work on now, though, is putting this fender back on. I went through these were the air box. This is where the air box mounts up, and it was actually bolted with nuts from the underside. I went through and put these riv nuts in. These are quarter 20 riv nuts. So that'll switch that. Here with the battery box and the inside of the fender bolts, I went through and put 5/16 riv nuts into these, and because they just had those clip-on captured nuts and they were all rusted and broken, and I had to cut a couple of them, most of them off, and anyway, they were bad shape. So I replaced them all with that. That includes the battery tray and the inside of the fender. Then before we did anything else, I also did one here on each side, rib nut, top of the grill, top bolt in the fender, simply because well, that's interesting. This fender doesn't have a hole in it there for that bolt. Okay, well, that's what it is. I don't know. Either way, we won't be putting that one in, I guess. But I went through and chased all of these threads out, all 6 of these, and all four of these were the fender mounts in here, just because it's going to make getting them back in. And then I went back through, after I chased all those, I went through with all the bolts and ran a die over top of all those, just to make sure that everything, all the threads are cleaned up and everything will easily bolt back together. So let me get you set up on the stand here, and we'll see if we can't fight this fender back in. These things are a pain to get back in. So this fender has rust in it. It's not as nice in that aspect as the original fender that I had. but it doesn't have the big dents in it. So it was a trade-off. So I'm gonna put this one in for now. And if I can find a better one down the road that's not dented and doesn't have rust, I'll do that. And I'm just gonna, well, quite honestly, do a cheap patch on this one. I'll get all this rust broke out of here, treat it up, and then we're just going to short strand fiberglass together and call it absolutely perfect. Trick here. Let's get this one. Any? Oh, that was easy. Whew. Alright, we got one started down there. Right here. We got one started right here. I gotta do 3 more there, 3 in there, and 3 down this seat. That's those 2. Let's get her back down here and do the top 2. Hey, you know what? Let's get these 4 in here first. Okay, that's all back on. Let's put this battery tray in. So that little tube that was broken, it was some kind of vacuum, and I'm assuming based on where it's going, it's part of my HVAC, and I noticed that I wasn't going anywhere. It wouldn't change from defrost to any other settings. So I'm thinking this might have been the problem. I'm gonna have to get a better repair because I didn't have anything. I need to get a little rubber hose that's just a little larger, this with an idea of the OD of this stuff, and patch it together. For now I put some shrink tube on there. I don't even know if I got the hose. It was cruddy inside. I don't even know if I got it cleaned out enough to make it work, but for now we're gonna go with that. And now let's put this bad boy back in. Okay. This one's different. This is the one that was on the fender. It's not the same as the one I had, so this box isn't going to mount to it. So let's take this one off and put the other one on. All right, let's try putting that thing back on again. Oh, mercy sakes. Amazing how well they fit when you use the right bracket. Going to do is we're going to take we're gonna enlarge these holes to 23/64, and that is the size for a 1/4 20 rib nut. So this pretty awful. And honestly, I should just cut it out of there. But it's bad enough, and these fenders you can find them cheap enough that it isn't worth that kind of effort. So I'm just going to short strand it. Like I said, I've already hit it with some treatment, rust converter. And we're just going to short strand it, knock her down flat, sand her up, and then I'm going to get those covers for on top of this anyway for both fenders. Neither one of them are in the best of shape anyway. This one's bad. The other one is at least isn't rusty. It's just scratched all up. So we're going to do that, and yeah, it's not the right way. Not even close to the right way. It's going to be the way we do it. So if you're looking for the right way to do body work, you didn't come to the right place at all. You're looking for the hack job? Hey, I'm learning from Pole Barn Garage. What can I say? Anyway, we're going to do that. I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to do it tomorrow. It's getting a little late, and I'm not going to be running the heat out here overnight. So, yeah, let's just call it for the day, and we'll start fresh tomorrow. It's the next morning, and with our bodywork hackery. Again, if you're coming here for bodywork, you're coming to the wrong place. But also, it's just a Jeep fender that I can unbolt later, and all I'm trying to do is get myself maybe a year out of this thing and just get it back together. I know this is nowhere near a long-term repair. So we got some of the old Bondo brand short strand fiberglass. It's just what they had locally when I bought it. Okay. Where did I put my? Oh, for the love of Pete. Where did I set down those things? Okay, so I found the Bondo spreaders. They were actually underneath the rags right there beside me, yeah. It turns out my microphone decided it did not want to work this morning and recorded nothing of the next few clips here. So we're gonna we're just going to kind of time lapse through it just so you can see it. There's really nothing too exciting. I'm just going to spread a little Bondo around. So while we wait for that fiberglass to set up, we say we reinstall the headlights. And while you're doing that, don't stick your elbow in the gooey fiberglass. Ask me how I know. Again, ask me how I know. All right, there's one. Let's go do the other side. At least this side doesn't have anything on the fender for me to goop myself up on. Well, that looks better. Can't put that front turn signal in just yet. Well, I guess I could, but I don't want to until I'm done cleaning that up. But I can put that one in and wire it back up, so let's do that now. Okay, that one's in. You know what? We're looking over here. That's getting there. What we can do while we continue to wait is the wiring harness needs to be rerun. One of you guys want to come give me a hand? I can't reach both sides of the fender. And what's going on down there? I can't see nothing. What am I hooked on? There. There's that. Pull this one back out. almost home. Hope, I think. Oh my word, we got it. Look at that. Would you look at that? Just look at that. Just look at it. There we go. Well, that was easy. Well, we gave it a quick sand down, and then I came back through and filled the low spots in. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm not altogether upset with it. I don't hate it. I think Dalton at Paul Barner Garage would be pretty proud of me. Alright, we're gonna let this one cure, give it another sand. I did not show the sanding on the first one just because of all the dust it kicks up, and I didn't really want to have to clean my camera up. So once it cures and I get it sanded, we'll show you that. Alright, we got the body work done, and I got it masked off and hit it with a little bit of primer where the bare metal was. Now we're just going to fog this whole fender down with some color match and see what we end up with. I think it's going to be alright. Color match looks pretty much spot on. I sprayed a little bit right in here just to see, and yeah, I like it. So as soon as that primer dries, we'll throw the camera on and hit it with some color match paint. Well, I got her out of the garage and got her out for a test drive. She's all back together. She still drives like an old Jeep, but she looks a lot better. Fender came out fantastic, and cowl looks good. Now, poor truck needs a good bath, but we'll scrub her down. May get the paint, more of that paint, so I can paint the doors so they match, because they're wrong color. But yeah, she's looking a whole lot better. A little icy out here. We had an ice storm earlier in the weekend. All right, let's take the Jeep on a test drive. We're going on a parts run. I need to fix that. But if you look at that oil pressure, it is pegged at 80 as soon as you start it, which tells me the oil pressure sensor is bad. So we're going to go pick one of those up at our local auto parts. Okay, so that test drive ended almost as soon as it started. I made it about a mile when the Jeep decided to let me know it needed a few parts. So the Jeep is kind of deciding on its own what we do next. It threw an engine code. I brought it right back, checked it, and it needs a O2 sensor, which I have coming, and a power steering sensor, which I have coming. I picked up the oil pressure sensor, which is bad. And yeah, I think that's all it's asking for right now. So that's going to be our next video. But yeah, that ended that test drive. I guess we made it back, so we'll call it successful. Yeah, successful. We made a 2-mile trip. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. So we're going to get those parts in. We'll put that video up next. But for now, hey, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider hitting that like button. Also, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any future videos. Both go a long way towards helping me and the channel out, and I do appreciate it. Also, again, if you have any Jeep stories you want to share, please drop a comment on that. Let me know if you've run into these issues that I'm running into. I think the problem I'm running into is the poor Jeep has just been neglected for so many years that it's starting to show it a little bit of love, and now it wants everything replaced. So either way, I appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next one. Tim, Headgear Garage. We're out.